a bonny summer's evening as I sailed from Erin shore. Our tender steam does them look foil past the castle at Crowe.
How pleasant in winter to sit by the haugh, listening to the hounds and the bark of a dog, or in summer to wander with your love so true, and to pluck the wildflowers in the May morning dew. Oh, summer is coming, oh, summer is near, with the leaves all so green and the skies bright and clear, and the birds they are singing their loved ones to woo, and the flowers they are all springing in the May morning dew. Oh, God be with the old folks who are both dead and gone. Likewise my two brothers, young Michael and John, as they tripped through the heather, the wild hare to pursue, and the joys they were mingled in the May morning dew. Oh, the house I was reared in's a stone and a stone, and all round the garden wild thistles have grown, and all the kind neighbours that I once ever knew, like the wild rose they have vanished in the May morning dew. I went to the hillside to view all around. The place seemed deserted, no one to be found, and I cursed the landlords that drove them from you, and my tears fell like rain in the May morning dew.
guys, this is Bernie, this is Charlie, my name is Hannah, and this is Emily, and we're going to play two reels called George White's Reel and MacArthur Road. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to sing a song now called Matt Highland. There was a lord lived in this town who had a lovely handsome daughter. She was courted by a fair young man who was a servant to her father. But when her father came to know, he'd sworn he sent him from the island. That age he knew that her heart would break had she to part from young Matt Highland. So straightway to his room she goes and orders him for to awaken, saying, "Rise, my love, and go away. This very night you will be taken." I overheard my father say, in spite of me, he would transport you. So rise, my love, and go
sat down upon the bed, just for the space of 1/2 hour, and not a word did either say, but down their cheeks the tears did shower. She lay her head upon his breast, and round her neck his arms entwined them. No lord nor duke nor earl I'll wed. I'll wait for you, my own at Highland. The Lord he saw his daughter dear, one night alone as she lay crying. I'll give you leave to bring him back, since there's no one you love before him. She wrote a letter then in haste, for him her heart was still repining. They brought him back to the church they went, and made the Lord of young Matt Highland.
From Kiva Kieran's, and best wishes to everyone for the month of May. On a bonny summer's evening, as I sailed from Erin shore, our tender steam does down look foil past the castle at Colmore. Our liner raised her anchor and will soon be far away from my home upon that green hillside way above Sheephaven Bay. I was banished from my own dear home, the home where I was born. I oft times think of that dear old spot with its fields of yellow corn, and the fishing fleets that anchor on a lovely summer's day, and my home upon that green hillside way above Sheephaven Bay. The sunny banks, the grand old caves in my far off native land, the lovely river at Mulroy and the Downing's glistening strand, and my bonny blue-eyed Mary in her shawl of Galway grey, and my home upon that green hillside way above Sheephaven Bay. Farewell, farewell, my own dear home, goodbye to Erin shore. Farewell to Cloney and the green My steps are slow and feeble, and my race is nearly won. I pray that God will guide me back to old Tirconnell shore, that I may rest in that old churchyard, for that I daily pray, to rest beneath that green hillside way above Sheephaven Bay.
week will be me birthday. Will I be 65 or will I be 64? A devil a bit of me knows. Anyway, I'm not as simple as I used to be before. All me life, I rode down bike. I journeyed on it near and far. But 6 months ago, I took the plunge and bought a motor car. Now when the motor was delivered and with me money I had parted, it was only then I realised the expense had only started. These driving lessons cost a fortune for a test I have to pass, and €300 for a little disc to stick up on the glass. Sure, the insurance was a nightmare. Sure, it nearly left me broke. Sure, there was times when I regretted that I ever bought that bloody yoke. And then there came this letter about the NCT. I'm glad that they were talking about that motor, and not about me. Now, testing that motor, that's all very well. But sure, if I had to undergo a test like that, sure, I wouldn't stand a chance in hell. No. Sure, the chassis is getting rusty, the suspensions is getting creaky, the lamps are out of focus, and the water hose is leaking. Now, after several weeks of lessons, I was ready for my test, so I headed on down towards the centre, dressed up in me son the best. Your man sat in beside me with a book upon his lap, and you know, he looked at me a kind of funny when I wiped the window with me cap. Oh, says he, we'll travel that way, and then we'll take a right, and then, says he, we'll take a left beyond the traffic lights. Sure, I pushed out gear, stick into fourth gear, and then I let out the clutch. Sure, I looked over at your man, and sure, he was sitting with a hump on him like a rabbit in a hutch. Everything was going grand, I was going like a bomb, till an old lassie on a bicycle around the corner chanced to come. Sure, I stamped me foot down on the brake to avoid a head-on smash. And your man was tangled in the harness, with his nose against the dash. Sure, the engine stalled on me and refused point blank to start, despite all the curse and blessing I was ready to impart. Anyway, I got her going. Go out of town, says he. So I turned her around, and I headed her for the open country. Now everything went wrong that could possibly go wrong, and I began to think your man was sorry that he had come along, from when I backed into a gate post. He turned a sort of a yellow. You know, between me and you, I think he was a very nervous type of fella, for he had reneged on the biro and taken to the beads, and I was coming down the motorway with the old engine fairly buzzing, and your man was knocking off Hail Marys at 16 to the dozen. Sure, I knew I made an odd mistake, but I did me very best. So I thought I'd ask that all-important question, have I passed me test? Sure, he looked at me straight in the eye with a watery sort of a grin. Oh, you have, says he, for I'll not go through an ordeal like that again. So I got me driving licence and I headed home once more, and I parked my little motor proudly outside the door. Now I was fully licensed, I could drive whenever I liked, and I never more would throw me leg across that old rally bike. I'd load up all the neighbours on a Sunday going to Mass, and the old ones on the bicycles would stand in to let me pass. I seem to be very popular now, no matter where I go. Sure, I should have had a motor car 20 years ago. I went into town a few weeks back to see the cattle train, and went to have a pint, and somehow overstayed. And as I made me journey home, I swerved to miss a dog, and I lost control of my little motor, and submerged her in the bog. Me motoring days are over now, I'm back on the bike again. And when I think of all the money I spent, sure it almost seems a sin. But there's one thing you can be rest assured, that the next car I go off in, the undertaker will be driving, and I'll be in the coffin. Thank you very much.
The morn was fair, the sky was clear. a bonny summer's evening as I sailed from Erin shore. Our tender steam does down